right, we are recording. I would love to see your faces. So thank you, Kelly. Thank you guys. If you want to turn your cameras on, I love that. But if you get a better connection by keeping your camera off, or you're not dressed or something like that, that's fine. So today, no video for you, Marlena. Okay, no problem. I'm going to try to go through a 2 pages worth of stuff in less than an hour. And first, I thought I would introduce myself to you guys. I'm Ellen, and I guess many of you know me as the creator of Warrior Rhythm and Warrior Strength. And I wanted to just disclaim that I am not a social media guru by any stretch of the imagination. Let's see, I'm still getting emails from people that can't get in. I'm not a social media guru, but I have had a lot of success in marketing things, doing sales, all related to fitness business. Hi, Jen. Hi, you guys. Good. Liz is finally making a connection. So that's my little disclaimer. I am not a social media expert. I use Instagram for networking, for business. I find my work on Instagram to be enjoyable. I enjoy coming up with both graphics, cropping, lighting, filters, and copy. In other words, text that kind of sends a message, or that's fun work for me. And so I also think that Instagram in particular can be the kind of place where you can create relationships with people that feel a lot like you're going to your favorite coffee shop every morning. Good. Some of the people are popping on still that we're having trouble. It can kind of become a situation like Heather, for example. I feel like I know you very, very well. And I feel like we have a real genuine connection and friendship. And the truth is, a lot of that is due to our relationship through Instagram, reading each other's stuff for like years and liking and promoting and celebrating and sharing in each other's stuff. So you can kind of create a community of people that you see and hang out with daily, that you interact with daily in this platform. And to me, it has a lot more of an intimate feel and a lot more of a customizable feel like that than Facebook. So it's something I enjoy. I actually have like 6 accounts. Many of you guys probably don't know that. But I really live on my primary Ellen DeWord account. And then I also spend a lot of time on the Warrior Rhythm and Warrior Strength business accounts. But for some reasons that we're going to talk about, I did end up creating some other niche accounts. Now, don't worry. I am not going to suggest that you create 6 Instagram accounts at all, I promise. However, some of you might want to create a second one. So basically, we're going to go over, my agenda tonight is to kind of go over the basics, and then to talk about aesthetics and branding, and then to talk about how to grow, and then very briefly some security and some Q&A at the end if there's time. And thank you guys for coming on. I know it's really late for some of you. So we're going to start with the basics. Number 1, and you can take notes if you want, but I am recording. Niching down is super important. So not trying to be all things to all people, because when we try to be all things to all people, we are no things to no people. So you really want to find your tribe in this space to be effective in fitness branding. And by the way, this whole lecture webinar that I'm giving tonight would be applicable to something else, like if you owned a real estate business or something else. It doesn't have to be fitness business, but I'm trying to niche down to this point, trying to niche down. Niching down is so important. For example, Frey Skincare. I have a ambassador relationship with them, and I've never been into skincare. I don't care about skincare. I don't want to take the time to wash my face. I swear you guys, I was using Dial soap or whatever on my face, whatever I could get at Walgreens. And the reason I gave them a second look is because they said they were skincare for women who like to sweat. Women who do high intensity workouts. I was like, I've never heard of skincare. That is like, I've never heard of that before. And sure enough, that's their market. Women who like to work out, period. They're not going for everything. They're not trying to be all things to all people. And because they niched down so specific, I was like, well, that's me. That's me. Okay, I relate. Okay, you must be for me. And so we want to do that. We want to niche way down. So you might need to create a second account. A couple of our warrior instructors, I notice, did that. McKenna created an Instagram account called Warrior One and More. And Lauren created an Instagram account called Gratitude, Grit, and Grace. And I just happened to notice they did that in the last, couple months, and that they had their own account. Now, I believe Lauren's a school teacher. I don't know her all that well. And probably my guess is because she's a school teacher, she wants a space where she can be a fitness entity and promote her fitness business publicly, not with the school teacher hat on. So, Shalene Johnson gave the example once of like, she was saying that if she, and I'm gonna don't quote me on this because I don't have the numbers right, but if she were to post a picture of her husband, she would lose like hundreds of followers or something like that. And it's because people aren't following her to follow her husband, as lovely of a man as he is. And as much as her awesome marriage is a part of her brand, they're following her for her. And so I remember that kind of resonating with me. And I realized, because my primary account, my Ellen DeWord account, was not growing. And I loved taking pictures of food. I love food. You guys probably don't know that because you don't see it on my feed anymore, but I love photographing food. You know how I told you guys I like the artistic side of Instagram and photos? I think food is one of the most fun things to photograph. I'm the kind of person that would like wipe the edge of the plate if there was a drip and like take 10 pictures and stage it. And then I realized, and I'll get to kind of how I realized this a little bit in a second, but I realized like that was not helping me grow. People didn't care for me about my food pictures. They weren't interested in food for me. And if they were following me because let's say they were interested in my tattoo or my fitness, and they see a picture of, let's say they're following me because they are interested in this bodysuit tattoo, and they see a picture of my eggs and blueberries, they're not going to necessarily in their feed know that that's that same person that they were following because they liked the tattoo progression story. They're just going to be like, I don't want to see someone's food, unfollow. And so that's not to say like food accounts are great. And food might be your thing. Food might be what you need to post more of. It's not about food. It's about finding out what your niche is and what people want from you. So if I was following someone for like yoga flows, they do like little yoga series. And then one day there's like a sunset on the beach and I'm just scrolling through and I don't necessarily know that I'm following them because I like their yoga inspiration and I see the beach, I might unfollow them kind of accidentally, but because I don't need to see the sunset on the beach. Okay. You get that point. I kind of hit that, like beat that like a dead horse. Okay. So number one is niche down on the basics. Number two is your account for growth really does need to be public. So that's another reason you might want to consider making a second account, because maybe you don't want to be public. Maybe you have young children, or maybe you are married to a police officer, or for any of a million reasons, maybe you want to have a private, personal account that isn't open to the whole world. But for purposes of business and promoting and sales and getting people to do whatever it is you want them to do, buy your smoothie, take your class, come to your event, whatever it is, It needs to be public. And taggable, because now I've tried to tag some of you guys lately and it won't let me, because that's a new feature of Instagram that you can remove the ability to tag. I tried to tag Debbie Wald this week. It wouldn't let me. Like, that function is turned off. So if I can't tag her, we tag to promote one another and vice versa. We want to be tagged so that we are promoted by others. Both. It goes both ways. Two-way street. Okay, so number 1, niche down. Number 2, public account, even if it means you make a secondary account. Number 3, make it a business account. You have so much more. You'll have so much more ability to grow if you make it a business account. So you have to connect it to a Facebook page to be able to make it a business account. So this doesn't necessarily need to be your personal account. It is mine, and I'll explain that later. For me, Ellen DeWord, it is me, it's my name. I don't have like a family account because my kids are young adults. They don't want me posting pictures of them. They don't want me doing that. My husband doesn't want me posting pictures of him. They don't. Every once in a while I get permission from one of them. But so if I was like a younger mom with young kids and, but I'm in a situation where my fitness account where I am doing my fitness businessing happens to be my name. But for you, maybe you need to create some other account. You'll have to make that decision. And then that account needs to be public. That account needs to be connected to a Facebook page. Okay, so once it's a business account, you can run analytics. And here's where you really can find out why people are following you. So I remember someone once telling me that that a good formula for putting like selfies is 1 out of every 9 squares. So their Instagram is like 3 across. So 3 by 3 in this big square, you'd only have 1 selfie. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So then you don't look like a narcissist. Like, that makes sense. And I remember they're like, you don't want to put like video after video. You want to like mix it up and only 1 selfie per 9 tiles. And I was like, that was like what I was doing. And then when I became a business account, you can run analytics and you can see. So I literally would run analytics like a wild woman. And guess what I found out? Guess what people were interested in on my account? Guess what people were engaging in? 100% the selfies. No food. Remember how much, this is when I kicked food. You can't find like food on my Instagram anymore. It used to be like so many food pictures. No one was engaging in my pictures of food. They didn't care. Maybe for you, that's what they would love and they would care. Maybe, but for me, it was like, I could filter analytics for most engagement, most pictures saved, most pictures shared, most pictures commented, whatever my filter parameters, it was always like the selfies. So I'm like, okay. And then I'm going to start posting more selfies. And then my account started to grow. I was basically finding what they liked. And so now I was posting pictures of my dogs all the time, pictures of my cats all the time, pictures of food all the time. So I just decided to make a separate account for my animals. That's just for me to keep track of just for me to like keep a little photo journal of my animals. Because you know what? Nobody was really interested in seeing that. Now, because they like selfies, I might have my animals in a selfie with me. But anyway, you won't know what they like unless you are a business and you set up a business page and you run analytics. Also, it'll tell you like what days of the week are prime for you to post. So if you happen to want to post something really important, like coming to an event or take my free class that you're going to start or something really important to you that you want to promote, you might want to know that Wednesday nights at 6:00 are when the most people tend to be on your group, checking. Okay. So point number 4, try to match as much as you can. And I'm the pot calling the kettle black right now because I'm not doing this right this second. But you really do want your profile pictures on like Facebook and Instagram to be the same. And you also really want, if possible, your names to be the same, because it's just hard to find people or to know that you've found the right person. Like sometimes the only way I know it's the right, Jennifer Smith is if I kind of recognize the little teeny tiny picture as being the same one I saw on Facebook. And so when you're trying to grow your account, and I don't have that right now dialed in, but my name is the same. If you can't get your name the same because it's taken or something, at least try to get your pictures the same. Also, if your name is not super memorable, your Instagram name, if it's not your real name, or it's not a super memorable name, like I just told you, Gratitude, Grit, and Grace. That's really easy for me to remember. Jill Hope's, hers is Jill Hope. So easy to find, easy to remember. You know her name, you're searching. But so many times I try to tag someone with like a funny Instagram name. And like Jen, like yours is a little funny. It's a little hard to find. It took me a long time to like remember how to tag you. And like our friend Mary Camus, her Instagram name is Zumbug. And this girl is like the coolest. She goes to our gym and I'm always wanting to tag her in my stories and tag her and give her credit for things and like celebrate things with her. And I can never remember her damn Instagram name. And I give up. After so many. I happen to eventually remember hers and not give up. But a lot of people, I just give up because I can't remember that Jennifer Stanton is like J. There's two J's in there or something. So, as best you can, make it your name or super memorable. Okay. And then your copy. So when I say your copy, I mean what you're writing. Let me check the time. Okay, we're doing okay. The copy is the text that you write. Less is generally best, I would say, unless you're like Heather Shields. Heather, literally, I put you in my notes because you really are an exception to this because and I've told you this before, you are more of like a blog style Instagrammer. You write long copy and for you it works. It's just like long and well written and consistent and it's part of your brand. If I do that, most people aren't going to read it. Most people don't have the attention span to do a lot of reading these days because most people don't really read these days. So less is usually better. You kind of have to earn the right to the trust to write these huge, long-winded things. So usually people will engage more if the copy is short. Also, keep the copy, the text, off of your graphic. And I'll talk about that when I show you how I make graphics in a second. But if like you have a lot to say, try not to type that all over the picture. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. But as much as I'm saying keep the copy short, sometimes you need to write a lot to get to say what you want to say. And good copy does make all the difference. I used to not take the time to really like think about what I'm going to say. And then I really did realize it matters more than the photo in a lot of cases. Like I can post a photo of me that's professionally done with bad copy, or a mediocre-ish photo of myself with really great copy, and people will engage more if it's great copy. So it does matter that you take the time, whether it's a little or a lot. Okay, I'm almost finished with the basics, which is the longest section. The last part of this basics section is to have a good bio on your account, and to have your profile picture should be you. Unless you're operating as a business like Warrior Rhythm, for example, has the Warrior Rhythm logo, or Coburg Fit Club, Katie Burchett's gym has the Coburg Fit Club logo. But if you are your fitness business, like you're selling yourself, you want it to be a picture of yourself, not your dogs that you love, or and not even like your family that you love. Like that can be on your personal account, but it should be you, because people you're the brand. You're the brand. So it needs to kind of be a profile, no pun intended, picture of you and a headshot. And if you can't or don't want to pay to have it professionally done, you can use amateur photographers, are usually happy to help, aspiring fitness professionals, because they can promote one another. I did want to talk about the bio. So in that bio section of your Instagram account, you want it to give them a snapshot of what they're going to expect. So if someone goes to, let's say my youngest son is going to post ultimate Frisbee photos and pictures of Oregon scenery, and let's say weightlifting photos. I'm halfway making this up. His bio should indicate that those are the three things that are going to be kind of in that, so that they're not so that the bio doesn't confuse someone. It should tell them what they're going to get. Here's what you're going to get if you follow me. You're going to get content about these things. And so, and then I'll go ahead and show you mine in case you're not following me. Just bear with me while I go. Oh, okay. I can do it like that, I think. Okay. So let's go here let's look at this. Okay. So I think you can all see my screen right now. It shows kind of, this is sort of what you're going to get. These are kind of what I'm going to be posting about. I'm a tattoo snob. I'm an artist. You're going to hear me sometimes talk about the skincare that I rep, Lululemon that I rep, and my brands and stuff from the gym that I work at. That's kind of like the snapshot. Now, what I really wanted to show you is the link tree. I'm such a fan of Linktree. There are some other services like this. I love Linktree. So it just allows you, because you only get one clickable link in your bio. And so it allows you to have as many clickable links as you want. I have way too many right now, way too many. And it allows you to have a little thumbnail. I've totally customized this. And I'm right now wanting people to listen to a podcast that was just released yesterday. So I'm kind of talking about it. I'm trying to drive people to my link, and I have this podcast going up and down, bobbling. I'll take it down in a couple days, and depending on what I want people to go to, I can drag these in different. I can drag them into different orders and stuff like that. Now, here's what I want to say too about Linktree, you guys, is you can get a free account, but it doesn't look this nice and it doesn't function this well. And I just want you to pay for your apps. And I'm going to talk about that. I just want you to pay for your apps because of all the things we do in fitness, of all the shoes we buy and the clothes we buy and the music we buy and the microphone, all the stuff we spend money on. Apps are not expensive. I think this costs me $5 a month and I get huge traffic here. I know because it tells me, because you can run analytics, and it tells me I have huge traffic going, and it tells me even which ones they click on. And I can be like, oh, okay, nobody's clicked on the Warrior yoga mat for 2 months. I should remove that. I should take it down for a while. So yeah, I have way too many of these. I'm more of a fan of having 5. I don't know why I have so many, of course, right when I'm doing an Instagram presentation to you guys, but Linktree is awesome, but please pay for it. And is it time for me to go on the paying for your apps lecture? Yes, it's time for me to move on from the basics to paying for your apps. All right. This is a huge, if you take nothing away from tonight, just pay for your apps because they're $1.99, most of them. And I don't even mean $1.99 a month. Some of them are. Linktree is a monthly expense. But most of the apps that I have bought are like $1.99, a one-time purchase, and it removes their watermark. I don't want you guys to have watermarks of an app on your photos. Because you're just advertising for the app company, and you can pay, like I said, a one-time fee, and then you can either put your own logo or brand or initials or leave it blank, which is actually really nice to have nothing on your photos is a really nice look. But we don't want to see like you trying to promote yourself and in the corner it says pick, play, post or InShot or VidStitch. Just get rid of that. Okay. And then aesthetics and branding. So pay for your apps. Okay. Remove the watermarks. For your videos, I've had so many fitness professionals ask me how I do this. We don't want to take a video of your video because it's going to be poor quality and pixelated and shaky and not square. So I've had this question, seriously, I have no idea how many times, but we want our videos to sound crystal clear and look crystal clear. So, remember we practiced the clean and snatch. Okay, we got that. You don't have to keep listening, but it looks like that because I recorded and then I airdrop. If you're a Mac user and an iPhone user, you'll know what I mean. But you could do this with a PC with like a movie editing software like Movavi. But then just edit it in there and upload the video directly instead of taking a video of a video. So on a similar note, for anything you post, we want to make sure it's not pixelated because that doesn't look professional either. Nothing grainy. So if you pinch your photo and zoom, like expand it, it should still look crystal or pretty clear. Because sometimes I see on people that are fitness professionals or trying to be fitness professionals. Okay, Sadie, bye. Grainy looking photos. So it would be better not to post it at all than to post something grainy. Okay, here's another big tip that I've seen actually with this video. So when you go to post a video that is full screen or landscape mode, and so like this happens to be our trailer for Warrior Rhythm. This little tiny thing in the corner that shows two corners of a picture frame, it's really important that you click that. So watch what happens when I click. See how it just took it to full screen? So now when I post it, as opposed to this, so if you post it like this, it crops off like 2/3 or maybe not 2/3, but close to 2/3 of the image. It crops off the edge, which happens to crop off some of the word, like Warrior Rhythm or whatever your video is. So always pinch anything that is not a square video. Any video you ever share that is not square, pinch the corners to expand to full screen. And then you guys know that once you have it loaded up to post, you can scroll and pick a cover photo. So you want to pick the cover photo, like Chelsea, if it's of you dancing. I mean, I've posted pictures of you dancing before. Or if I'm doing a video of myself, I always want to find like, what thumbnail do I want to show up on my profile? And I can tell some people don't know this because it'll be blurry or it'll be black. Like it'll just be black, like the video starts with a black fade in. And so I can tell they don't know that if they just picked the cover image that's maybe like dramatic or like, clickbait, that's really important too. Because then when people look at your feed and they see a thumbnail, they're going to decide by the thumbnail if they want to watch that video. And if it's just a black tile or something blurry, they're less likely to click on it. And every once in a while, just take like a bird's eye view of your account, and like you're cleaning house to go to Goodwill, delete stuff or archive it. You can click on the little dots. What are they? Are they 3 dots? Yeah, you can click on the little 3 dots in the corner and archive, which means you can always unarchive it later. It's not going away. And keep the page looking like, what if someone visited my page today for the first time and they were deciding if they wanted to follow me? So that's a good filter to look at your Facebook and your Instagram. What if someone landed here today? What would their snap judgments of me be? For me, they'd be like, she's a narcissist. Every single picture is a selfie. but anyway, every once in a while, go through and clean up. Or if you don't need it anymore, if it doesn't add aesthetically to what you're trying to, aesthetics are really important. So actually on that note, if you're thinking like, I'm going to create a new account that's fitness based, I'm going to name it this, I'm going to make it attach it to a business account. My bio is going to be this. I'm going to, whatever, I'm going to pay for my apps. Sometimes it's nice to just follow other accounts and see what you like, and then sort of not imitate, but be inspired by what you like. Sometimes some accounts are like a certain aesthetic. The whole account has a certain like color scheme. Like they use Snapseed to filter all their photos, or they have a quote every 3rd tile or whatever. But I don't even wear socks that match. So I definitely am not one of those accounts that's like super perfect and pre-planned. But if that's what you like have some intentionality about it. Hello, Nancy. Nancy's just joining us. That's so exciting. She's a Fit Pro friend in the Pacific Northwest, and it's an honor to have her popping on. Okay, so where are we at? We're finishing up the section on branding and aesthetics. Let's talk one more point on this. I use Canva when I'm making graphics. So like the one I made for you guys. Okay, let's go back to my account here and close this out, and let's just look at this Warrior Rhythm account. See, it's a little bit more polished looking because it's not me. It's it's the business. But see this graphic right here? That's actually just a stock image for this social media training. And I put our little logo in the corner. And I'll show you how I made that. So Canva is awesome, and it is free. There's a professional version that, believe it or not, I don't pay for, even though I just went off about paying for your apps. The professional version is like $20 a month, and I don't need it that badly. So when I go to create a design, you can pick what kind of design you're looking for, and often I pick Instagram post, guys, even if it's something I want for Facebook. And then you can let's see. You can type in, what did I type in? Did I type in social media? I think you can look for their up photos. Here, recently used. This is one of their free graphics. Like I typed social media. I don't know what I typed. I typed probably social media. I don't remember. And then there's a lot of free graphics, and this was free. And sometimes they're like $1 to pay for a graphic or something like that. So that one was free. And then this is important, guys. Then you can upload your own images. So sometimes I edit a picture of me or, whatever. Some of my marketing images I might edit like this. But I want you guys to try to break the habit of using the white. Wait, this is hard because, sorry, I have a hard time. I really want to show you this. Bear with me. It likes to grab it. It grabbed it. Sorry. Hang on. I want to show you no, don't grab it. Okay. The pressure is on to there. It doesn't look as profesh when we have the white border around a logo, whatever your logo is, or whatever logo you want to be using. The PNG files, and I believe for those of you that happen to be Warrior Rhythm, Warrior Strength instructors, I think in our membership portal, I have them labeled as watermarks. If not, it's the PNG file, not the JPEG, that has a clear background. But just see how much less distracting that is. And then also check this out. I can also fade it and make it like super subtle or kind of subtle. So that's enough about that. But canva.com is free and I use it all the time. So let's move on. We've talked about the basics. We've talked about aesthetics and branding, and I see what time it is and we're doing great. I want to have a little question and answer at the end. Let's talk about how to grow. And then hopefully you can have, if you have any questions, you're writing them down. Let's talk about hashtags. How do you post from, Corinne. Oh my gosh, you guys have been chatting and I didn't even see. How do you can't. Corinne, you use a PC, but I can forgive you because you at least have an iPad. I'm always airdropping videos and photos from my Mac to my phone and vice versa. So I can create something on my computer and airdrop it to my phone, but you can email it to yourself. Oh, Corinne, I thought you had a PC. Oh no, you have a Samsung phone. Anyway, once you go Mac, you need to get all your stuff Mac. Okay. Anyway, back to hashtags. Hashtags are, I'm sure, how I've grown. And again, I'm not some huge social media monster at all, but how I have grown is through hashtags. It's how I have met strangers and found not just rando, like weirdo strangers, but strangers that have an affinity with. It's through hashtags, and it takes a while. Thank you, Liz, for that information. So there's there's 3 things I want you to know about hashtags. You can follow them, you can search them, you can use them to be searched and followed. So let's talk about following them. Let's take Warrior Rhythm's business account, for example, but you guys put this in your own, like, it's not about Warrior Rhythm growing Warrior Rhythm's account. Put it in your own framework of how this would work for you. If Warrior Rhythm, that account, wants yoga rebels and it wants to find people that might want to get certified and like our wild, crazy vibe, that account follows the hashtags PIO Live instructor, group exercise instructor, NASM certified, AFA certified, cardio yoga, booty yoga. You want me to keep going? It's following the competition. It's following people that are yoga rebels, like stuff like that. And so then when I see, because I'm following that hashtag, that means when people, let's just take booty yoga for an example. Someone maybe is, or let's take Fitness Rebel. So not another brand. Let's just take the term Fitness Rebel as an example. Because I'm following that hashtag, if anyone uses it in their post, it pops up in my feed. And so then I'm going to like it. Warrior Rhythm is going to like it. And what happens when someone likes your stuff and follows you? You're like, oh, I better maybe follow them. And I at least want to look. I at least want to see who followed me. So then, and usually when someone follows you, usually you follow them back, not always. So we want to be looking for people that are like us or that are interested in our stuff. And that is a great question, Jessica. She's asking how you follow a hashtag. You hit the search button. Did you see? I had to check. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I do it. You hit the search button on your account, the little search, right there. And then you type in, so on my personal account, guess what I follow? Weimaraners, Bengal cats, Japanese style bodysuits, things I like to look at, yoga flows, yoga practice, handstands, stuff I like to look at. I follow those and then they show up in my hashtag, in my feed the same way. So then Jessica, you were asking about, I'm sorry that I'm not the kind of techie person that can share my phone, but maybe you can just grab your phone right now. If you type in handstands, you can search top, like the top number one handstands under that, like the most liked, or accounts, or you can search the hashtag and then you can follow it. So I don't know if that was clear as mud, but that's how you do that. So you kind of want to follow people that you're interested in. I got a thumbs up from Paul. And then and the same thing, people that you think would be interested in what you have to offer. So then also people search Instagram like Google. Like if you were looking for, like, I don't know, basset hounds, if you search, then you look at the top ones, or like, you know, I'm so interested in tattoo work. So I often am looking at large scale tattoo work and Japanese style tattoo work. I can't tell you how many, and I search it. And if I find a woman with like a lot of extensive body art, like she's probably going to like me. And we have something in common that's extraordinary. Just like, okay, like Liz, you are into music. Like you have these niche, you're an athlete and a runner, and you have like 1 million. I saw you had like 1 million in your on Podio video. You had like 1 million like awards behind you. And like you have, you know, speaking of branding, I meant to talk more about this. Some of you guys, is Jill still on? Yes. With Jill bakes bread, and you guys have, every one of you has like really unique things about you that set you apart. And I know we're finished talking about branding, but it's really important to think on those things. Like what is so different about you? Oh yeah. PicMonkey's great. So, okay, back to hashtags. So follow them, search them, and then now this is really important. Use them to be searched for. So like to use the example of that I just used, like of Jill and Liz having these like unique things about them, or Heather, I don't know if Heather's still on, or Chelsea is an incredible dancer. You can use these things. So if I hashtag things like that are unique about me, and I basically, let me back up. You can have 30 hashtags per post. I like to hide them because, and you can't totally hide them, but I like to try to hide them a little bit because they're basically like saying, I'm looking for followers. I'm trying to find people on here, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you put them in the post themselves, it's just, I like to hide them. So I have them pre-made in my Notepad app, dozens, and they're categorized. I have some that are like tattoo 1, tattoo 2, tattoo 3, tattoo 4, tattoo 5 that are just 30 different sets of hashtags. And that, and if it's warrior rhythm related, it's a different set of hashtags. And I have a few different ones, so I'm not always doing the same thing. And I also try to change the words a little bit. So so this one, you can see there's 5 dots. So on my Notepad app, I do period return 5 times. And then this says diversity and inclusion, fitness living, the sweat life, yoga practice, 200 RYT, yoga teacher, fitness pro, group exercise, yoga flow. You get the point. Diversity. It goes on, and they're all related to Warrior Rhythm type stuff. And so I have a bunch of those because I don't want to take the time to type them out. I have them all pre-made, and I might change one or two with every post just because I feel like Instagram probably wants to see different stuff. Okay, I need to wrap this up quickly. So 30 at a time, put them in the comments, have them pre-made. That's going to take you a couple hours. And then get fairly specific with them. So that they're not like I would never just like use the hashtag tattoo because there's billions of, so I would rather do something like Japanese style tattoo or Japanese bodysuit tattoo that niches it down a little bit more so that my post might have a chance of popping up and staying up at the top for a little bit longer other than disappearing right away. They don't work on private accounts. So again, some of you guys have private accounts. I know because when you become, I meet you through Warrior Rhythm, I want to follow you and I have to request, which tells me your account is private. So when I see that, I'm like, oh man, people aren't shopping this person. Because if you can't see what you're getting when you request an account, you usually don't request a stranger's account because it's scary. So it does need to be public so people can look and see like, okay, if I follow this account, here's what I'm going to get. So hashtags won't work if your account is private. I'm going to finish up in the next couple minutes here. The opportunities I've had with Lululemon and Frey Skincare and now the Fitness Business Podcast are really, they're opportunities that elevate me in fitness and enhance my fitness brand. And they are because of Instagram. That like Lululemon found me before they came to Eugene, and they're looking for influencers, and Frey Skincare, they found me through Instagram, and the Fitness Business Podcast, they messaged me through Instagram, and there's a lot of like accounts that want us to DM me for let's collab. And there's a lot of that going on. So I definitely wouldn't say to, oh, good, Jessica. Yeah. The clipboard is everything. Save your time. But some of those opportunities for us, are really, they help us level up and that's just because of Instagram. So I just wanted to mention that opportunities like that will come your way if they haven't already. Okay. The three most important thing I think for us is that we're consistent, whether we're posting every single day or, 2 times a week, that we have a consistent rhythm that we show up, just like, to use quote Shalene again, just like a business. You want to know when you want to get a feel for when you can show up and see that a business is open, and you wouldn't want them to be gone for 3 weeks and then there every day and then gone for 6 months and then back. So, again, like I said at the beginning of this, I actually enjoy my time on Instagram. It's not a chore for me. I feel like it gives back. It's fun. It's artistic. It's an expression. It's writing. It's a creative outlet. So I like it. And I'm there basically every day. I might take a day off on a Sunday or something, but, do I use the app when to post? No, Nancy, but I want to know more about it. Here's the huge takeaway. Well, Nancy, let's Google it. Here's a huge tip for you, because I'm not always creative and I'm not always inspired and I don't always have time. But when I am inspired and I am feeling my creative juices flowing, or I did get 10 awesome photos that are in my camera roll, I batch the work. So I sit down and I create all of, like, let's say I have 5 awesome photos that are kind of different. I will create 5 different posts and put it in my drafts So at any given time, you can go into any of those accounts. Warrior Rhythm has like 40 pictures of you guys that I've screenshotted that are in, unless they were pixelated or something like that, that are in my drafts. So for a rainy day, when I don't have a lot of time, I can very quickly open a draft and click post, and it's done. So when you have time and creativity, create all that content, act like you're going to post it, and then hit save as draft. So I could like not create anything for probably a month and still post every single day. All right. I still want to be organic, or like organic. Yeah, organic. So I still will, even though I batch and prepare things, I still will do like an organic, like this happened today and I captured it today. Okay. So consistency and batching your content helps you be consistent and helps you enjoy Instagram instead of hating it like it's a chore you need to do all the time. Consistency is huge for building a following. Engagement is everything, like literally being there to give, and to give, being there to give more than you're there to receive and get followers. So, if you want a like and you want a comment, then give 2 likes and give 2 comments. Give more. That's like huge to growth, is giving more than you expect in return. And then the last thing, and I know I'm preaching to the choir with so much of this, but I'm totally preaching to the choir with this. That, I've been doing Beachbody stuff since 2012. So selling products, you don't ever see it. Like you don't ever see it, and my sales aren't down. I just feel like I want to create a healthy lifestyle that is attractive to people. So if someone wants to know what kind of protein drink or whatever, it doesn't, I'm not even talking about that. That's not the point. My point is that like attraction marketing and not being salesy, even though I use Instagram for it's constantly sales. I'm constantly trying to get people to listen to a podcast, go to this event, sign up for this, enroll in this certification. I'm constantly using it for business, but I want it to feel like it's not this icky, salesy, pushy space. And a lot of times I won't even say what something costs or how to do it. I'd rather create FOMO. So like, in a group exercise analogy, I would rather show myself having a ball with my class or participants having fun with me in class than say, please come take my class at such and such a time, at such and such a date. The drop-in is this much money. I would rather just have them think to themselves, well, I wish I was there. That looks like fun. Because if they really think that, they're going to ask me, can I come drop in? How much does it cost? What time do you teach? Like if you want a pair of jeans that someone's wearing, you're going to ask them, where'd you get them? How much are they? Are they still there? So I think in terms of like sales and promoting yourself as a business, a lot of times like less is more. Oh, and I wanted to say that about the graphics. On our graphics that we post, you guys know if you try to run an Instagram or a Facebook ad, and I have 4 minutes to wrap this up. If you try to run a Facebook or an Instagram ad and you've got a lot of text on your graphic, they won't let you run the ad. And the reason is because it won't be a successful ad. And so think about that when you're creating your graphics. Like I wanted to, on that post I did for this one, I really wanted to put like the time and the date and everything, but I didn't put any words on it. Cause it's not that words are bad. I sometimes will put words on a graphic, but it's a cleaner look and all the words can go in the copy. And then the graphic itself is usually more aesthetically or visually pleasing. Okay. For security reasons, people get their accounts hacked sometimes. For one, don't ever click on links of things people send you. I like never click on a link that someone sends me on Facebook, especially if it's like, is this you? Don't ever click on that. But For security, set up two-factor authentication so that nobody can. I think, and I'm a little talking out of my wheelhouse, but I know I've set that up, and I know people can hack into accounts, and they've done it with some of my friends. And also, speaking of some of my friends in fitness, like, don't buy followers. I don't do that. I know a lot of my fitness friends have, because they want to hit that 10,000 where you can swipe up, and I can't do it. I feel like it's not authentic. I feel like it's a lie. And what you really want is engagement, not followers. So you want to see that people are caring about what you have to say, not how many people are following the account. So I'm going to just wrap up and then take questions. So for the basics, niche down to your exact target, and then maybe create another account. Make sure that account is public, that it's taggable, that it's a business account if you want to run analytics and see what people really, 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 really want to see from you, which might totally surprise you. It did me. And then try to match your profile pictures and, if possible, your names on Facebook and Instagram so you can get that cross. And if you have to create another account, it's not going to be like starting from scratch. You create another account, you go follow all your friends on it, and you ask them to follow your new fitness account, and most, if not all of them, will. Your copy should be less is best, usually, unless that is like your thing. Like, I feel like for Heather, I feel like that's actually part of your brand, but I feel like you're an anomaly. Less is usually best. Keep the graphics simple. Have a good bio. Consider something like a link tree that allows you to have lots of links. Now aesthetics and branding. Pay for your apps. No vid stitch, pick, play, post in the corner. And then no videos of videos. Especially us fitness people, we're always in videos. No video of the video. Just do the video from the actual video itself. Expand the video to full screen if it is a full screen video. It's just like a quick, it feels amateur if you see a video that's been cropped poorly. And then find the right cover. You pick the cover that you think will be the best for them to see on your page. Every once in a while, do that bird's eye cleanup, goodwill, archive, so that the account looks pretty if someone were going to it for the very first time ever. Use transparent logos, not the ones with the white border. And then start playing with hashtags, both following. You can always undo it. If you follow a hashtag and you're like, whoa, I'm seeing stuff in my feed I don't want to see, just unfollow it. So play with hashtags, using them both to be followed and to follow. And then batch your content. Think about flirting with brands that you might want to be an influencer or an ambassador for. Those are great relationships for fitness professionals to have. Consistency, engagement, and being non-icky are the most important things, I think, for growing your business. And I hope that's helpful for you guys. It's 7:01. I talk for an hour. That's all I know. I'm not a pro. But any questions you have, or if any of you guys have great tips that I didn't mention, yeah. Okay, yeah, IGTV and stories. I love stories so much. They are I feel like, first of all, I know nothing about reels, and I know they're very popular. I find them annoying, and so I haven't gotten into them. I do a lot of IGTV. Anything that's over a minute long, you have the option of either cropping it down to a minute or converting it into IGTV. And so I do like to do some IGTVs now and then, pepper them in there. And then thanks, Marlena. And then stories are great for showing the real, raw, unpolished behind the scenes of your life. What other questions or comments? Did I leave anything out? Was it helpful? Did you know all that stuff?
Hey, Ellen, is nobody talking?
Yeah, go. Yes, nobody's talking, Becky.
Well, I chatted a little while ago about the Facebook page. So I got a Facebook page a long time ago because Beachbody Coach, I was in a whole group and we were doing all this training. And so I have Canva and I have Linktree and I have all that. But I've never really put it to use because the Facebook page, I just don't know what to do with it. And it's all linked with the business account and all that, but I just never have really done anything with it as far, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the content, maybe it's just being consistent with like posting and different things.
I don't think people typically engage much with Facebook pages. It's good to have one, and you can even push your Instagram content out into that page, but people don't really engage with pages. They engage in private groups. Like I read once, I actually was on the Fitness Business podcast, that a Facebook group, you create community and intimacy and connection with people, like putting a pot in the microwave. And a Facebook page is like a big pot of boiling water on the stove. This just not a plate. It's like a weird, I think you need them. Like it's a utilitarian purpose to make your Instagram function the way you want it to. And, I'm trying to put stuff on our Facebook pages for Warrior brands, but people don't typically like comment and engage very much there. So I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I don't think you even need to put a lot of time and energy into it. I don't think that's an effective tool for engaging with people, is a Facebook page. Sorry, Mark Zuckerberg. You do a lot great, but not pages.
But it has to be connected with your business page for Instagram, right? You were saying.
You have to like actually like connect them in the settings to be able to run analytics.
So I'll notice that I'll get notifications from my Facebook page from my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Same. Yeah.
Oh, all right. I got it.
Kelly, what do you mean Instagram groups? I do like Facebook groups a lot. I definitely like Facebook groups. That's how I know Nancy.
Ellen, if I've done social media business in the past, but it's been several years and I've been inactive, would you recommend just starting with a new Instagram account, like a new business account? I've deactivated the old one because it's Beachbody related, but I'm not Beachbody anymore. So it's like
start over.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think so. Plus, it's like a new chapter of your life. It's a new beginning. It's symbolic. I would start over.
I have a question about the business account being linked to the Facebook page. So I have, my Instagram is public, but not a business account.
Yeah.
And I do have like the Facebook like page. that I do nothing with.
Yeah, that's okay.
So you just switch it like to a business account and link it to that business page?
Exactly. Just do it to that page. Don't create a new Facebook page. Just do it to that page. And you know what? I wish I knew this for sure, but I know you used to do that in Instagram settings. But now that like Mark Zuckerberg owns both, I feel like you might have to link them in Facebook. But yes, you can link that old page that is stagnant, kind of like Becky. You just need it to link so that you can run analytics, because you'll be surprised. I was so surprised nobody liked my food pictures. They were nowhere. I could look, I could just scroll miles deep, and I love taking pictures of food.
Were you surprised or were you kind of sad?
I was like, oh my gosh, but then it was like, this is really eye-opening because I probably lose followers. That's because they don't care. And anyway, yeah. So I just don't, I try to have like one kind of common major theme or two, and then other things that I like can be part of that. So if I still, like, my animals are still really important to me. And if my family will ever let me take photos of them, I still want them to be part of my account, but it's still all kind of related to health, wellness, fitness.
Ellen, do you run the analytics on Instagram from your phone or from your
phone? see if I can do that quickly. Insights. You go settings, insights, and yeah, it's just it can show you your, top. Like if I go look at like last year, you can look at the last 7 days, last 30, last 3 months, last 6 months, last year is what I have it set to, or even the last 2 years. So let me go last 2 years, and I'll just. Everything is there's, well, I don't do food anymore, but it's just all, well, now this would have been more effective if I showed you when I discovered it. Because when I discovered it, I was posting a lot of other things. But now probably the last 2 years, I don't do that anymore. So this is probably not a good test, but yeah, it's just all.
Yeah, I definitely need to get better at Instagram. I've spent all my time on my Facebook page because that's what I was told to do, and it's not doing anything for me.
There's something about Instagram that has, for me, and it could be, I hesitate to say this because it's possible it's my personal experience. I know you guys need to probably go. It's really late for some of you too, but it seems to be like more of a community than. I don't know. It could just be my Facebook. It could just be the way my Facebook. Plus, my Facebook is maxed out, so I can't meet new people and add them on Facebook without deleting someone, which I do all the time. I have to go find someone to remove, and I don't like that. And then like Facebook, I don't see the people I want to see. I don't know why. I can't find people's stuff that I want to see. But on Instagram, I feel like it's showing me who I want. I don't know what that is about. I don't know. But okay.
I think it's the algorithm.
I think so too.
So I had a question real quick though. There's the hashtags and then there's the posting. And so when I did an Instagram training, it was like, you want to post so many pictures, within your, what did you say, 9x9 square or whatever. And then so many stories, and it got like too much for me. I was just like, like I'm thinking too much about this, right?
Yeah.
I just feel overwhelmed with everything I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
With Instagram. And then it was like, follow these hashtags, but if the hashtags are over this many people, then don't follow them, because then you won't get put to the top of the list. And I just got like,
I would be way more organic about it, but then again, my socks don't match.
I
will say that stories, if you can story somewhat, you probably know this, if you can story somewhat frequently-ish, like every couple hours or something, then you're going to keep showing up on the top of people's feeds. But if you story every 24 hours, they're not going to see you. If you keep like a sort of a more regular, it depends on how many people they follow, of course. And then also I can't watch, and this is maybe just me also, but I can't watch someone talking on Instagram stories, which none of you do. If anything, I'm worse than all of you guys at this, but I can't watch someone just straight talking for like too many of the 15-second clips at a time. Like I kind of after like 2 or 3, I'll click by. So I try to keep my stories kind of short or varied. Nikki.
Do you usually post to Facebook as well? You know how there's that option?
I don't, because this might not be true anymore now that Mark Zuckerberg owns both. So I could be wrong, but it used to be that if it wasn't organically through Facebook kind of buried it because Facebook is, they call it like, they call Facebook like, well, anyway, they call it like the jealous bitch. So like if you post a YouTube video on Facebook, if people click on it, they leave Facebook. Facebook does not want you to leave Facebook. So if you post a YouTube video on Facebook, people aren't really going to watch it. But if you have that video in your camera roll and you or your computer and you upload it to Facebook organically, so it's in Facebook and they have to stay on Facebook to watch it, you'll get more views, much more. So Nikki, to your point, I used to hear that if you shared from Instagram to Facebook, that same thing, Facebook didn't want to promote Instagram, but that could very well not be the case now that Mark Zuckerberg owns both. And I haven't done a social media training for a long time, but a lot of these best practices that I'm telling you are just stuff I have like really, truly learned. Like Liz, you talked about in the chat, wanting to redo your hashtags. I know for a fact my hashtags work sometimes because I can see that complete strangers, I can see that's why. But you have to think about what would someone else be searching for? And sometimes we want to be cute with our hashtags, which is fine. But would someone really search something clever or cute? You know how sometimes we want to hashtag, like, you know what I mean? So what would someone really, really be searching for that would bring them to your post that would be relevant? You know, so pandemic fitness, COVID fitness, online fitness. I mean, there's a whole bunch of that kind of thing.
Do you think also, does it have to be relevant to your post?
Yes.
Like your use of hashtags? A marketing person, I'm in a networking group, an in-person networking group for businesses. And she actually owns a magazine.
Oh.
And she said that to grow my business, as far as people like using locations that are where I think my ideal customer would frequent, she said, you know, if I'm doing boutique fitness classes and I want an upscale, she runs an upscale, like very private magazine.
Mm-hmm.
She said, hashtag all of the country clubs, hashtag the diamond jewelers, and say shine with me in 2021, because that's going to make it pop up in their feed if like this jewelry store is
right.
something they follow. But I'm like confused about how to even.
Well, I heard they do need to be relevant too. So the copying and pasting you have to be careful with, because if you post, if there's a hashtag that you use that has nothing to do with your photo, Instagram can somehow like ding you for that, or like, you know, they can.
I try to use brands, like the brand of my yoga mat, or
yeah,
you know, like I'll tag Gorilla Mat, or
yeah,
you know, whatever the one I use on top of that, or what I'm wearing, or something like that. Instead of,
I don't think you'll show up in their feed unless they have to be following that hashtag, which they might be for you to show up in their feed. There's something else you made me want to say too. They have to be timely too. Like you want to post your hashtags. You can't go back and do it later. You got to do it right then. Make your post, go copy paste your hashtags. They need to be like within a minute of the post.
And in the first comment,
yeah.
Say, or like, okay.
I just think it looks a little less obvious. I know everybody's having to sign off. There was something else, Liz. Timely, relevant. Oh, locations. Yeah. Like also you can tag the location also of the place you are, and you can search locations. So like Jen, we could search Sweet Cheeks Winery if, I don't know, if we were into wine sales or something, we could search that location and find every single post that people had tagged that they were there. You know, if there were ever a reason to, you know, or like back to Liz's point, like if there was a boutique gym near your gym or a yoga studio and you wanted to just go search one day who had tagged that yoga studio, and then you could maybe follow a couple of them knowing that they live in your area and they're interested in yoga. So, all right, you guys, anything else? Nothing? Okay. I'm sorry if some of that was redundant, but all right. Okay, all. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks, Atlantis. Thanks, Corinne. Bye, Nancy. Bye, Kelly. Bye, everybody.